Welcome, one and all, to this very special event. My name is Alex Protic, and as part of the Calgary European Film Festival, as well as the Serbian community of Calgary, it's my pleasure to welcome director Zeljko Mirkovic and actor Jack Dimich from the 2018 docufilm Tesla Nation. Thank you both so much for joining us and being a part of our annual celebration of film. This call is going to serve as a Q&A about the film, as well as a stage for you both to share your experiences about the film, both in filming and just in general, what you had experienced while traveling as well. So as part of this Q&A, we'll obviously ask some questions both from the crowd here. I will ask that if everybody can remain muted, and if they wish to ask questions, to please put them in the chat, and then I will address them as they come up. So to start off, Zeljko and Jack, would you both like to just introduce yourselves and give us a little fact about yourselves and why you decided to make this project or join this project?
Okay, my name is Zeljko Mirkovic. I'm a documentary film director, producer, and I'm working in documentary more than 20 years right now. And I found myself in documentary after finish my BA studies, then MA and PhD right now. But for all my documentaries, so far I have won 63 international awards and had 2 Oscar qualified documentaries. Tesla Nation is one of them. So we started producing Tesla Nation in 2014, I think, initiated by the Tesla Science Foundation, and it took us more than 4 years to finish it. And we filmed it in the US from east to west coast in cities such as DC, New York, Boston, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Philadelphia, Chicago, and San Francisco, LA, and so many others. And we had 70 interviews with different kind of people and put them together to send a message about a piece, actually. So the main message of the film, let's say, we put it in a poster, and there's a peace through understanding, because if we want to make bridges between people and between nations, we need to understand each other. So, and when we understand each other, we can respect each other. So, and our famous inventor, Nikola Tesla, who is, Jack is starring it, said that we are all one, yes, and that we are connected with invisible forces. So that was the goal, how we wanted to make this featured documentary and send that if we are on a positive way, we can build future together.
Fantastic. Thank you for sharing, Zeljko. And Jack, did you want to add anything to those points?
Hello. First of all, thank you for having me. My name is Jack Dimich. I'm an actor who plays Nikola Tesla in this wonderful production of Tesla Nation, directed by Zeljko Mirkovic. And basically he said everything. I mean, he was one of the greatest men that lived on this planet. Sometimes I think he's not from this planet. I mean, how magnificent he was. And besides that, Zeljko made a wonderful film of many people that come from our region. I mean, they belong to our Serbian people, who are just did a wonderful thing for America, because they lived here and they proved themselves as human beings and as special, skilled people in their fields. Film is just completely the truth, what is going on with somebody who comes to the United States of America and wants to prove himself and participate with his knowledge and talent and skills, not only for America, but for the whole world. And I think the director had a great idea. I was thrilled and honored to be part of that. And after I did a play, Tesla, by English playwright Sherry Grauber in 2013. I was very, very honored when Mr. Mirkovic offered me a part of Nikola Tesla.
That's fantastic. Thank you, Jack. Thank you for sharing. So once again, I'm going to leave the chat open for anybody else to hop in and to ask any questions that they might like to ask, both the director and our lead actor. But in the meantime, I have a few questions of my own. So I will ask this kind of generally first to both of you. So why Tesla Nation? How are we as immigrants connected to this narrative of interconnectedness, of peace, of bringing people together from across the world with this like-minded personality, or this mindset that we hold for peace and for love and for sharing knowledge?
Okay, I will try to answer. There is two actually answers. Tesla is a symbol for the Serbian people, Serbian community all around the world. So it belongs to our heritage, but also Tesla belongs to the world heritage, because his idea is that we are all one. Yes, that we are connected. And we wanted to show that through the Serbian community, how they are connected, how we are now connected, and how strong message to the rest of the world we can send with a simple message that we are all one. So that's why Tesla Nation could be not only in US, it could be in Canada, it could be everywhere. And you see the symbol shaking hands. So we are making bridges with understanding through our achievements. And people are actually making bridges, and we wanted to show that people are making bridges for the whole nation. And also from the other side, we wanted to send message about our people, Serbs, that we did great jobs for everywhere where we started to live. And this is let's say, another layer of the story. So the film has many layers, and if you read it carefully or watch it carefully, you can find it on many different layers, and that could be a story about any other nation. And that's we call nation, Tesla Nation. There is no borders.
That's beautiful. Thank you for that answer. Second follow-up question is, what was it like to film as well as travel in the US while reflecting on the journey that Tesla himself took when he came to New York?
Okay, this is also a question for me. I would like to thank again to Jack Dimich for the wonderful role in this film. It was very challenging to film it in that time when we were filming in the mid of January. It's very cold. In February, conditions are very special. But he was there. He was completely in a role, and we wanted to send the story. We didn't want to tell about Tesla's inventions and scientific achievements. We wanted to use Tesla as a philosopher, because his philosophy is coming from understanding of the world. And from this understanding of the world are coming his inventions. And he told that he's somehow was connected with the source. And everything what he did is he was the messenger from the source. All his inventions were telling the story from the source. And one of the stories that we can build this planet together if we understand each other, if we share the values on a common good. And that's the Tesla was the key element in this story. And that's we use Tesla as some kind of guide for to read this film, because his thoughts are used in quotes, used to understand what we want to tell.
Yeah, so to that point, then I noticed throughout the film that you used segments with Jack playing Tesla, quoting Tesla directly. Did you use that as sort of the bridge between those interviews, between those locations, those cities? That is sort of that underlying narrative or that interconnectedness throughout the entire film?
You know, these quotes and thoughts are opening some topics, you know, about the, you know, understanding about the frequency, about the peace, about the you know, there is I think 12 different kind of topics what he's opening, but the Tesla, you calm you down to think about these quotes, and then we are proving that with the interviews and with their stories in many different fields. So you can see the personal stories, how there's from the first, let's say, immigrants, then you can see the achievements, and then you can see the, you know, the visions of the people. So it's some kind of puzzle, and also you can follow through the film what the president Woodrow Wilson said about the Serbian community, so about the Serbs. So that's some kind of proof that we are, you know, really telling the right story. So I can say there is 5 different layers in film. So, and you have to watch film at once, not part, to understand the whole picture of that. And the best way how you can understand the film is through the emotions. It's instinctive.
That's very well put. Thank you for that answer. That's perfect. So one thing you mentioned just there as well was the individuals who you interviewed and their achievements and highlighting those aspects. So you mentioned earlier that you interviewed close to or over 70 different people across the US. Without picking any favorites, do you have a particular person that you interviewed who you enjoyed interviewing the most? Or was everybody sort of on an equal playing field?
You know, when we decided to make a film about on that way, we wanted to cover a film from east to west coast, from different fields. So this is just a surface of the people who deserve actually to be in a film. So we couldn't for sure put all people in film. Many of them, of these 70 people, didn't say any word. They just participated with their face, and but that was, you know, some kind of stamp that they are standing behind the message. And I need to tell that after that we decided, okay, we did 70 great interviews, and we need to tell to make a series about the Tesla Nation people. And right now we produce 20 different episodes, which are mostly personal stories. In film, we see just pieces of their stories, but it's half-an-hour stories. So it was challenging to choose some people, but you know, when we wanted to cover, as I said, many different fields, from politics, from science, from the culture, from the sports. So that's and also to cover the different states and cities. And it was road movie documentary journey to the, I can say, from the past through the present for the future.
And so, Zeljko, I have a question in relation to that then. So were any of the stories from the individuals that you interviewed very similar to your own, or did you personally connect with any of those individuals on a deeper level?
You know, when I started documentary, I was still living in Serbia. and somehow my life changed, and I got a position in US as a professor, and we moved there. I spent there a couple of years, and then we moved back to Belgrade. So I was in one part of the production immigrant as they were, and I can deeply understand, well, what is this, through my family, through my kids, to you know, all aspects, and how it's not easy to change life, but how it's challenging, and how you can, need to do some special efforts, but how it's beauty to meet the cultures, to meet the people, and there is many stories which are especially, I cannot say this is the favorite one, but you know, in one period this is Mim Bizic, in another period Gordana Vunjak, in the other when it's it's a beautiful people, and all send us their positive energy. They understand the message. They wanted to participate in the film, even they are busy, even they are, have own lives. They gave us time, whatever we want, and we came to even we came to LA or San Francisco or Chicago, whatever. And many of them were actually our hosts. We spent a couple of days in their homes. So that was another part of the journey. Yeah,
That's awesome. That's good to hear that that tradition of hospitality is translated throughout all the generations, regardless of at what point that they are in. So to that point then, what was it like selecting these individuals, and how did you go about contacting all these people?
It's a huge research. I had support from many other sources. Subnational Federation was included, because the Science Foundation was included. Many other people from Serbian community were included. So when you read the list and credit and cast, you can find them all, who are included in film, because it came layer by layer, year by year, month by month, and it was challenging to decide how you can choose the right one, but it's some kind of beauty, because you see that this network is existing, and that's the beauty of this community, that they respect each other, then recommend some people each other. That's the special story. It's another story how we came up with a 70 at the end.
That's amazing. And yeah, I can't imagine the amount of research, as you said, over 4 years in order to make this film, and both with traveling and with research included. A very long and I'm sure rewarding process by the end of that journey, and by the end when you completed that project, it must have been very rewarding to see it come to life like that, which is amazing. So Jack, I have a few questions for you as well here. On a more, personally, I wanted to really know what it was like to play such an iconic figure in world history, and preparation for the role of being Tesla, and what that felt like to be literally walking, kind of in his shoes on screen.
Well, I was fortunate to be in that play as Nikola Tesla. I mentioned earlier, on Off-Broadway in St. Mark's Theatre in 2013. And I was fortunate to, be in Tesla's shoes 2 times. So made it easier for me when Zeljko offered me a role in his film. But also growing up, I've learned a lot about Nikola when I was in elementary school and high school, because Nikola Tesla is a huge figure among our people, and big part of our history. My family comes from his region. My family is like 20 kilometers from Tesla's village where he was born. And then they moved to Bosnia in 19th century. So basically I have the roots similar to Nikola Tesla as well, geographically, of course. But it was a challenge because let's not forget, he was an exceptional person. Nikola was really special, and an actor has a job to be in somebody's shoes. He can never be himself, of course, but he can do a lot of research, which I did, and I mean, I was reading constantly about Nikola, try to know everything, starting with books, articles, interviews he had. One of the main things was the book Portrait Among the Masks from Vladimir Pishtalo. It's one of the best books, I believe, written about Nikola Tesla. I mean, I think it's his unofficial biography, and that book helped me a lot. And I read it in both languages, in English and in Serbian. And of course, later on, an actor has his process, which, you know, I don't usually talk about my process because I keep it to myself. Every actor has a secret how he delivers and develops the character before that. But it was a challenge, and I really enjoyed it. I mean, to answer your question, I really enjoyed it every day, because every day there is some detail that you find about him, and you try to explore that in front of camera or on stage. Of course, being aware of the fact that you never met him in real life, you never talked to him. Voice was a big part of that, because I never found any voice recording of Nikola Tesla. And of course, I had to come up with that, with a specific color and specific accent for him, because he had an accent in English, but he has it in his own, which I never heard. So anyway, to make a long story short, for you and your audience, it was a challenge. It was pleasure at the same time. And again, it was an honor to work on it. I wish I could have more time, me and Zeljko. I believe that we will give even more when it comes to this wonderful project and this wonderful character.
That's fantastic. Thank you for sharing, Jack. So to that point, then, are you, maybe this is an inside scoop, but are you, either of you, planning sort of like an autobiography or a biopic about Nikola Tesla, maybe directed by Zeljko, starring Jack?
There is some idea, but we will still want to keep it for future. Again, it will be probably a documentary combined with the docudrama, but I will keep it for the next month.
Of course, yes. Thank you. And again, it was more or less a rhetorical question, but thank you for answering. We get the inside scoop now, I guess. So we'll be looking forward to that and seeing how that project might unfold itself. So Zeljko, I had a question for you. Filming in the Sveti Sava Cathedral in New York, we know obviously the cathedral unfortunately had an accident, and there was a fire that had gone on in the years prior to your filming. What was the significance of being in that building and being able to film there, you know, now reflecting on the fact that there was that terrible accident that had happened?
Yeah, you know, that's the beauty of the documentary, because and importance, of course, that documentary, you don't know that would be the last shootings in cathedral. And also there is some people who are not among us, some who are participating in film, you know, I don't know, simply that they didn't live right now. But that's the beauty of the documentary. You're capturing the great moment, great people in the right time, and save them for the future. You know, that's, we at the end decided, okay, let's try to get in a important archives, such as, Academy of Pictures archives, U.S. Congress archive, Harvard archive, Yale, Princeton, city archives such as Boston, New York, LA, and many others. At the end, we came in and Russian National Archive, British National, French National, in Egypt, famous Alexandrian Archive. That's the reason why we decided, okay, let's put the film for the, not only for this generation, for the future, for the coming generation to learn more about Serbian achievements, but also to see how we can make connections, through the listening each other, understanding each other, respecting each other. That's the whole point.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that information with us. So, a follow-up to the question, filming in New York, being at the Svetisava Cathedral, as you noted earlier, you went to cities such as Cleveland, you were in Boston, in Chicago, and San Francisco. You went to Philadelphia, which is where obviously George Fisher, as we learned, was the first Serb to have come from, I think it was Hamburg, where he initially kind of like came from, and then landed in Philadelphia. You went to LA. What about Colorado Springs? So I noticed that there was like this slight kind of like missing a piece of Colorado Springs that I myself personally was looking forward to seeing. Was there any talks or was there any plan to go to Colorado Springs and to interview anybody there?
Not only in Colorado, there is you can obviously you can film right now in Florida, in Texas. There is New Orleans, huge community. St. Louis is also huge, but you need to stop at one moment. It would be endless, story to cover all of these places, and that's where we decided, okay, let's go from the east to the west, not more on south or in the middle. And we followed the first routes. Even there was a huge community in Indiana, that there's gold minings when the first Serbs came, but at the end you have to stop to make a film. Now we can continue with the stories. There is some ideas to continue with the interviews and the stories about the people, and continue with the Tesla Nation series about the Serbian people. But not only in US, we wanted to shoot in Canada and UK, Europe, so Australia. So we will see. That's the plan.
That's fantastic. I know some people, at least up in our country here in Canada, we were hoping to see maybe some Canadian representation. So it's fantastic to hear that, in the future, there is a plan to come and visit the other areas of North America and to interview maybe even some of our locals that we have here and add them into one of your series. So that's fantastic. Yeah.
That's the general idea, and we try to find a way and key how to produce that.
Definitely. So I do have a couple other questions here in the chat that we wanted to also bring up. Question for Jack: was anybody in New York or any of the cities that you filmed, did they recognize you or approach you and ask you if you were Nikola Tesla?
When I was in character, yes, but not now because I look different, of course. And at that time, yeah, well, we have that, similarity when it comes to the looks. And that was one of the reasons they chose me to play Nikola in the play as well. Well, I'm grateful for that because I think he was a very handsome man. Paying myself a compliment. Anyway, yeah, well, a couple of people approached me, who knew who he was. And then later on, when the film was released and pictures were published from the shoot, a lot of people responded you look like him, and it was the same lines in the face. And of course, I made sure that the makeup department and my hair looked the same, and stashes and all the weight. I lost some weight to play a character because Nikola was very skinny man. I mean, so I had to lose a couple of pounds, and I believe that shows on camera.
And Jack, what was it then like filming in Nikola Tesla's room? So I noticed in the hotel you were in the New Yorker. I noticed on the door the room number 3327. Obviously, Tesla had an obsession with the number 9. So
Yeah,
what was it like? Just all that historical significance being in that area.
it was amazing. It was. I was so thrilled and grateful when director Zeljko told me that I'm going to be in his room. I mean, Nikola's room. I mean, it's changed. It's not like, of course, at the time when he lived there, but I don't know. I had some feeling of connection with him through some energy that you cannot touch, you cannot explain, you cannot elaborate on it. But it was, I was just sitting there for most of the time and just try to catch something, maybe whatever the name of that is, coming through my body or to my mind, through my mind or my soul, to try to catch any connection between that great man and myself as human beings, which I believe it's a big subject in Zeljko's magnificent film, that connection in a human level, which I'm afraid lately we kind of losing. we are becoming very distant from each other as human beings, and I believe if Tesla is with us today, he would be very sad, because he was very, very big on human connections. He always believed that we all one, that we all have to connect with each other in every possible level.
That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that with us, Jack. So to those who had just joined into the call, I see the Calgary Tesla Society has joined as well. If you would like to come off of mute now, or if anybody would like to still send me a private message or an open message in the chat, we can bring anything else up and ask our director Zeljko and Jack if they have any more points to share with us.
Thank you, Alex. I just want to be late, but definitely would like to join and say thank you for great movie. My name is Zoran Milanovic. I'm a member of Calgary Tesla Society and Serbian Festival, board member. So definitely, we enjoy, supporting your movies and our festival. It was a really great movie. Even I'm part of Calgary Tesla Society, I still learned some things, from that movie. So that's a good job, definitely well done. But hey, yeah, just maybe guys, that information more. We're looking for a long time, like with some new movie about Tesla, or maybe just documentary devoted only to Tesla life, So do you have any information? Is that coming, a project like that soon, or it will be very interesting.
If I can answer, I'm preparing something, let's say the docudrama, but we can stay in touch, and I would not to share publicly yet because it is still in development phase. And you can send me an email, and we can share the information about that. It could be a huge project, because the Tesla Museum is moving to the another place, and they will open some his unopened documents, but that's the only for now. I have the whole project about that, and we can speak in a personal level. I think it's better for the project not to promise to the audience right now anything because we are still in development, but it could be a great project.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you. Yeah, that's good. We're looking forward to that. And as you said, there's a lot of material in Museum Belgrade that definitely there's a lot of material, so not everybody can see even if you go to museum, so it would be great if we can use it for such a movie or documentary. So
yeah, it is still in boxes in basement.
Yeah, most materials that I learned as well. So they're moving to new building as well. They announced it like a year ago or 2 years ago, and nothing happened like yet. I don't know, but
it will happen. It will happen. We need to be ready for that, and that's the project will cover, and we would like to follow up this opening boxes and see what is inside. And I expect that would be great potential not only for the Tesla's inventions and his story, that would be the great story for the whole world.
Yeah, thank you. Keep us posted, please.
Yeah, you can write me an email and I can tell you more.
Okay, sure. We will get in touch.
Great, thank you.
If anybody else has any other questions they wanted to add, feel free to add that now. I'll leave a couple seconds here just to have anybody else come off mute if they wish to as well. Okay, so if that's all the questions, Mafam, I'm not sure if you had anything else you wanted to add just before some closing remarks.
No, thank you so much. You already asked all the questions that I had in mind. Thank you so much.
Perfect. Well, Zeljko and Jack, thank you both so much for being part of our event this year, for sharing many insights regarding your film, and for being so open and kind and gracious with your time. On behalf of the Calgary European Film Festival, as well as the Tesla Society of Calgary and the Serbian Cultural Society of Calgary, we wish you both all the best. We wish you very much success in your future endeavors, whether that's in life or through film. And we are very much looking forward to hearing from you once again and featuring you hopefully another time through one of our film festivals in an upcoming project.
Looking for new projects, definitely.
Thank you, Alex. You can find me on LinkedIn, and I'm more active on LinkedIn and partly on Facebook. You can follow up. We are doing right now several projects like a Srpsko Kolo, Serbian Circle Dance, or some others, and this one we already touched about the Tesla. So let's make a network, and that would be the best for all of us.
Of course, yes, it would be our pleasure. Funny enough, you mentioned Kolo. Myself, and as well as many of my peers, some of who are on this call, we are part of our Skud Frula, our Serbian cultural dance group. And we'd be very much looking forward to a project like that. Are there any other projects that you wanted to kind of give a shout out to or to share with us now that you're currently working on or that will be releasing soon?
In the next year, we will film a documentary feature. We are already film a lot about him, but probably next year we will finish the feature documentary about the famous gypsy musician Shaban Bajramovic. And that would be the long journey about his life from Serbia to the Balkan countries to the US, because we are expecting right now that he will be accepted in Hall of Fame in Memphis Blue Jazz Delta Blues Museum in Memphis in US. So we are following his life, and will be interesting stories. Of course, we are doing Serbian circle dance called Srpsko Kolo, and developing some other stories. And as I mentioned, we're now broadcasting the second season of Tesla Nation series. 10 episodes will come up very soon. So there is a lot of an optimistic film kitchen So, but this is the positive stories. That's the we are producing stories with a positive point of view. That's how we want to, see this world around us. You can always find it, good in something and in people, and that's we call optimistic film. And you can expect more of this kind of stories.
If I can ask one more question, Alex, that's okay. Just looking forward. Yeah, I'm from Calgary Tesla Society, but definitely I'm part of our project in our community called Spark Project. We have kind of information about some famous scientists. One of them is, of course, Tesla #1, but Pupin, Mikhailo Pupin is he did a lot, great stuff, and he was very known and USA, and he was living together same time as a Tesla. So it would be something interesting if we see projects describing, of course, it's best way to actually record it and make that project in USA, because spend most time, in USA, doing his great achievements. And it would be great if some project coming about Mikhailo Pupin documentary is fine as well, get more information in deep. As you know, we have a Columbia University actually whole named after him, and a lot of information. So it will be something as well interesting that will support definitely, all communities, I guess, on this continent and more than this content will support such a project.
Yeah, I would like to add something more about the Tesla and Pupin, because there is some story that they were not connected in one period of time, but this is not the truth. They were always in good contact. We had some letters. They communicated frequently on a daily basis, on a weekly basis. They were good friends, and that would be also part of the story, what we wanted to produce when I make a story about Tesla. So I just finished 40 different episodes about the Serbian scientists in MIT, Columbia, and Vanfort, NYU, and now we finished the story about beautiful people from the Basel in Switzerland. They are producing cure cancer drug, and they're producing new vaccine for COVID. So there is a good stories are coming up, and there is a lot of people with a huge potential, especially if they are from with the Serbian roots. We are interested to share that with the world.
Fantastic. Zeljko, Jack, again, thank you so much for joining us. I'll leave this open for anybody else if they wanted to chat for a little bit longer with Zeljko and Jack, but if you are under time constraints, that is definitely understandable. Once again, thank you both so much for joining us. Thank you for answering all the questions very openly, and we look forward to following your projects in the future.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you for sharing the film to the Canadian audience, and I hope that we'll see you soon in Canada.
Thank you so much, guys, for having me today. And knowing Zeljko Mirkovic and he's directing, I know he's going to come out with another story about Nikola Tesla. And like he said, let's leave time for that. But I won't be surprised if it's going to be another piece that will be remembered like his film Tesla Nation.
Perfect. FM, anything else to add? Anything else that we need to do just as a wrap up, or I guess we could probably finish the recording?
Yes, thank you so much. Again, I wanted to appreciate on behalf of Calgary European Film Festival for accepting this invitation, and also for screening the movie in this year's festival. And hopefully we will meet you in person in near future. Thank you so much. Thanks.